Hey, this is Dennis. When I uncased my new baritone ukulele a couple weeks ago on YouTube, and I played a little clip of Brain Damage by Pink Floyd, a friend of mine asked me if I could teach him how to play this, and I did. I taught him, and actually teaching Travis picking on a baritone ukulele is perhaps a little easier than teaching it or learning it on the guitar. Now, the baritone ukulele is tuned just like the top or the high strings of a guitar. E, B, G, D, D, G, B, E. So, if you've got a guitar, you can learn this too if you don't know how to Travis pick. The nice thing, the nice thing about Travis picking the baritone ukulele for my style is that the one bar is played the same way no matter what song or what chord. D, G7, D. The pattern is all the same. The right hand never changes, just the left with the chords and the hammer-ons and the pull-offs. Get the idea? Now with Travis picking, you absolutely need 4 strings, whether those be provided by your baritone ukulele or a guitar. And the thing about the Travis pick is the alternating bass note. That's the distinguishing thing about Travis picking. Those are all played with the thumb on the downstrokes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We only have to learn one bar. The way I Travis pick each bar is I start with a pinch of the bass string and the top E string at the same time with the middle string. So pinch, then I work the inner 2 strings with the thumb and the index finger, and then the outer pair with the thumb and the middle finger, followed with the thumb on the G string. That's how all of the chord formations for my Travis picking style end, is with that thumb on the G string. So here's the whole pattern. Pinch, inner, outers, thumb on the G string. Pinch, inners, outers, G string. Pinch, inners, outers, G string. Now for all of my tutorials, I like to show this graph here. On the left side, you see the left hand with the numbers assigned to the fingers of the chord formations that I'll show in my tutorials. On the right side is the right hand showing the thumb, index, middle finger used in the Travis picking pattern that we're learning tonight. So with this pattern that I have in front of you, it's easy for you to see that the thumb is a pretty integral part of this thing. It's the busiest digit in the Travis picking pattern. And it's because it's every other beat. And those downbeats on 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 are played with the thumb. So now you've figured out that this whole 4-beat bar is played across time, with the notes being played individually and across time. The bass notes, the melody notes with the fingers. There's no strumming here. It's all individual notes, and that's what makes the Travis picking style so cool. And like I say, it sounds like two guitar players, actually. The bass note being driven by the alternating bass, and then the individual melody notes that are incorporated into each chord formation. All right, I've got the Travis picking pattern up here for you. This is just one bar, one measure, a 1, 2, 3, 4 measure. This is the only thing you have to learn, and then you just repeat it over and over again. As you can see, though, the thumb beats, the alternating bass of the thumb is played on the 1, 2, 3, 4, while the fingers are plucked up towards you on the and beats, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So I'm playing this very slowly for you while you observe this pattern. When you begin practicing this thing, practice with a metronome, trying to keep time. Start out very slow, 60 beats per minute. Next day, 80 beats per minute. Practice every day. All right, we're playing the verse here. Actually, it's the second verse leading into the first chorus. It's just a little bit different than the first verse. I'll show you that. Anyway, you can see that it's the same pattern played over and over again, no matter what chord formation you're holding. You just have to learn this pattern that I show you here and learn how to repeat it over and over again. There's a little bit of a difference between the introduction and the first verse when compared to the second verse, or the verses that precede the chorus. Let me show you here. Here's the introduction and the first verse. This is the intro. The thing I want you to be aware of is the last chord there, the D. It's played for all all 2 bars. Now the verse preceding the chorus is played exactly the same, except at the end it's played with this D and then a D7th. And you see that adds some tension that needs to be resolved by the chorus. So, the first verse and the intro at the end are played like this. See, there's no tension there, so it can go right into the next verse. But when you're changing from the second verse to the chorus, you want to create that tension before you resolve it with the chords of the chorus, like this. Well, I think we'll call it a night, giving you plenty to kind of mull over. Practice this pattern over and over. Start out slow. You should be able to get it tonight. Of course, you'll go to bed and then you'll pick up the ukulele or the guitar tomorrow and pick it up, and it'll take a little bit to recall that pattern, but once you do, then you start working on your speed, increasing your speed and accuracy, perhaps with a metronome starting out at 60 beats per minute, 80 the next day. It's a beautiful fingerstyle pattern. This will be just the basis for you. We'll work on some different patterns in the future and get this whole Travis picking concept ironed out, where you can play it very fluidly, unconsciously, change chords very briskly in the songs that you play. So until next week, practice these things, visit my website or my YouTube channel, and check out those other videos on Travis picking that may help you. And until next time, have a good one and take care.